So to continue, this is part two. The lady who sleeps near me where I sleep, all of a sudden the guy gave me a mattress and then she was sleeping on it one day when I woke up and I was like, what the hell is this lady doing here? And I was like, oh, that's that same lady there I recorded a couple months ago. I wish I could prove with footage. And she always talks about being my mother and all this other weird stuff, that other people are brothers and family. But she appears to be mentally ill, which is one of those things where if they're an alien species, they know that a lot of people are going to say, she's obviously mentally ill, dude. You shouldn't be making fun of her. When I'm not making fun of her, I'm literally telling you that there's no way she is not connected to these other people when they're all calling me brother and family and they're not related. They're not in they don't know about each other. If I said to her, "Do you know that guy?" she'd say no. And then the other guy probably might know her because she's been over near where he lives, but they're all connected in some weird ways. And there's also people online calling me brother online and saying we're here to help you and here to protect you and all this other stuff. And there's even people online admitting to being alien infiltrators. And this is one of those things where I need a real human to talk to me and ask me for more evidence, and I will disclose more evidence because I don't put it all online. I need someone to actually text me, 978-715-5036, or call me, or email me. Or just inbox me even. So, this is a real threat. I mean, these people are around your children. These people are around your elderly. These people might be around you. Your boss might be one of them. A coworker might be one of them. The movie They Live is real. Have you ever seen the movie They Live? It's about movies infiltrating society and lulling everybody into being addicted to materialism and things like greed and anger and not being forgiving. It's about people that are all over the place in disguise as normal humans when they're not. And there's one human who can see all of them. That's kind of like me. I'm someone in this universe who can literally see every single one of them and know they're real. I'm not saying I could literally see them like the green aliens, but I know who they are because I connected them through these common themes. And if you watched my hour-long video, then you would already understand what I'm going through and what I'm talking about. But if you haven't, you wouldn't understand exactly everything I'm talking about. But the last few videos, I mean, like I told you, right when I'm publishing the hour-long video, all of a sudden there's a man walking by me and sitting next to me, like right next to me. Not like right next to me, right behind me, with a shirt that says Offline Society. Another guy walking by with a shirt that says Crew, and then another guy that has a shirt that says Heroes. What are the odds of that? And that never happens before. I go to that Burger King every single day, and there's never anyone with those weird shirts out of all days. The day where I'm reporting on them and showing it to the internet and gonna make an ad to get everyone to know about this, all of a sudden, Offline Society because they want me offline, Crew because they want to think that if I'm off, they want me to think that if I'm offline, I can be part of their crew. Like I told you, and that also has to do with the fact that I told you they're indoctrinating me. They want me to think that they're God and Jesus and my family, and all this other crazy stuff. And I need someone to be smart enough to notice. I don't care if you've never heard of the Illuminati. I don't care if you've never heard of lizard people. These people are a danger and a threat, and I promise you, I am literally reporting live in Miami as a live alien infiltration is going on, and they are blending in, and they look just like normal people. I mean, they probably have fake passports. They probably have fake everything, and you just gotta understand that this is literally real, and they are blending in just as homeless people, just as people who work at Burger King, just as people who work at stores, and no one notices because when do you ever go ask someone for their ID? When do you ever interrogate people? When do you ever really question people about who they are and why they're here? Um, I want you to ask yourself, do you really think, if you've never seen all my videos, and how are you going to say I'm mentally ill? It's kind of, if you are accusing me and making assumptions and being angry at me for no reason, that is what they want you to think. They want you to feel that way. They don't want you to notice them. They don't want you to see them. They want you to stay asleep. They want you to be materialistic. They want you to feel like you never have enough. They want you to be greedy. They want you to be angry. They want you to be bitter. They want you to like hate life. They literally feast off of pain, fear, and sadness. They're addicted to control, and there's only one way to not fight them is to not fight them. What you need to do is you need to love yourself, love everyone around you, love life, Don't get addicted to pleasure. Don't be angry. Don't commit crimes. Don't do anything bad to yourself or other people. And tell everyone you know about these videos. It's a war of peace. They want to corrupt everyone. They want everyone, if they are the satanic beings, if they are these demonic aliens that are infiltrating, and they are literally aliens, but they're demonic, so they might as well literally be demons, then they want everyone sinning. They want everyone hating themselves. They want everyone forgetting about God and faith. They want everyone hating life as you know it. Whether you're a Christian, whether you're a Muslim, whether you're an atheist, whether you're on the far right or the far left, whether you're on the far left or the conservatives, whatever you are, you need to understand that you're not aiming your anger at the right place. If you're gonna be angry towards one race of people, it's not black people, it's not Asian or Latino people, it's not white people, it's not anything. I don't want anyone being racist towards anyone. The only person to be discriminatory against is these people. Do you want that person around your children? Do you want that person teaching your children? Do you want that person being your boss or your coworker, your neighbor? You have no idea how evil these people are. They are sick, disgusting pedophiles, and they are trying to infiltrate humanity, and they want me to join them, and I'm saying no, and I'm living, it feels as if I am living in this movie they live without the violence. I am a peaceful version of this man, and these people are right in front of him, and he can see them, and it's a pretty scary movie if you really think about what's going on. So I need people to ask me for more evidence, look at my page more. I can prove they're real even without any of this footage. Now imagine if I told you that I have evidence of them by looking at the music industry, the movie industry, by looking at events around the world, by thinking creatively and outside the box, by looking at historical events, by looking at quotes from famous people that talk about them, such as JFK and Edward Bernays. Let's take a look at that now. For we are opposed around the world by a monolithic and ruthless conspiracy that relies primarily on covert means for expanding its sphere of influence, on infiltration instead of invasion, on subversion instead of elections, on intimidation instead of free choice, on guerrillas by night instead of armies by day. He's talking about the Illuminati. He's talking about aliens, and then he got shot after he said this. There's no doubt in my mind, even if I was a normal human who saw this, because I don't consider myself normal if I know every single thing that's going on when it comes to them. That's not normal, that's not average. A normal average person should be able to put their heads together and think that this is not normal. If you take a look at Edward Bernays, if you look at all of his quotes, he knew something he wasn't exactly saying. He was saying it without saying it. He knew that there was some sort of alien infiltration going on, even if he thought about it in some other way. The conscious and intelligent manipulation of the organized habits and opinions of the masses is an important element in a democratic society. Those who manipulate this unseen mechanism of society constitute an invisible government, which is the true ruling power of our country. He's basically insinuating that there's people infiltrating and they're trying to control what you watch and what you read, what you like, what you don't like, and your thoughts and your behaviors and your mechanism, and that they're trying to erode free will by getting you materialistic and greedy and with commercialism and modern life and things like that and entertainment. He's basically talking, he literally is talking about the Illuminati. We are dominated by a relatively small number of people who understand the mental processes and social patterns of the masses. It is they who pull the wires which control the public mind. These are real quotes. This isn't a conspiracy channel. This is for overall motivation, apparently. This isn't a conspiracy website. This is just stuff that everybody knows he said that no one really understands the significance of. We are governed, our minds are molded, our tastes are formed, ideas suggested largely by men we have never heard of. He's basically admitting to the fact that democracy isn't real. He's basically saying that aliens, infiltrators, are infiltrating society. He's saying it without saying it. If you take a look at this, prove me wrong, because if you can, I'd be surprised. I'd say it's impossible for you to prove me wrong. Because if you mix that with a bunch of other things that I'm going through, and with what I talk about, with what I research, with what I know, no wonder they're coming after me, right? There's a guy who literally admitted to being the devil on camera. How does that not alert anyone? So they are in the process of hunting me in so many ways, intimidating me, lying to me, trying to manipulate me in all sorts of different ways. Um, they have rearranged things. They have put near my drink where I buy. They will put girl stuff. They will put gloves. There was a book called "Missing and Failing Matters," and a book like they've done weird stuff. They put a glove near it. They were putting gloves everywhere outside of stores, wherever I ride my bike. They put one glove everywhere to insinuate that they're Michael Jackson. They wear around me. They will always wear one glove, and this was even months ago. This was even 5 months ago, where they will wear one glove wherever I'm around, and they are trying to intimidate me in a way that if I say something, I'll sound schizophrenic. But I'm risking every single thing to come out with this, and this is more evidence. This is actual real footage of them. This isn't just saying that these people exist. I have real footage of them, and no one's willing to watch it because it just sounds too insane. I bet if I spent thousands of dollars on a production video, then people would watch it and believe it. But unfortunately, I don't have that many resources. And all I have is my laptop. It's a gaming laptop. I spent a bunch of money on it, and it's the best I can do to be able to report this to all you. I spent a bunch of money on advertising, and it's the best I can do, and no one's checking out my page. Because saying that there's aliens and saying that there's people after me and indoctrinating me is literally probably sounds like the loony bin should literally be getting called on me, but it's actually not. I have real proof, real footage, real conversations, online and offline. I have photos of all the weird stuff they did to me inside the stores. So I need someone to call me, 978-715-5036, and ask, all right, I'm going to bite. What more evidence can you tell me that you can't show online? What more evidence do you have? Do you have photos of them? Do you have them shape shifting? I mean, what do you have that you can't show online? I want to know. I want to know if my children are in danger. I want to know if I'm in danger. I want to know if my elderly are in danger. I want to know if my neighborhood's in danger. I want to know if my world's in danger. I want to be part of this friendly, peaceful movement to be able to stop these people and create awareness, not just about the alien infiltration, but also a community that we can all be friends and kind to each other and love each other and respect each other and make people aware and try and, focus on things like working out, being healthy, being kind, dieting, because you never know what's going on with the food. Have you ever heard of some of the food conspiracy theories about the poisoning food and putting fluoride in the water? I mean, those are all proven facts. You can look it up on Wikipedia. It says they put fluoride in the water because the government wants you to brush your teeth. Now, the government is now deciding if we brush our teeth. I mean, I forget to brush my teeth once in a while, but I guess if I drink a good bottle of water is all I need. And fluoride is the same thing in Prozac, which is an antidepressant. So, does anyone notice that it's like we're being dumbed down? Every single person on Earth and every single species. I mean, they're putting stuff supposedly in the air. I can't really prove that. Everything else, everything I say, I can prove. I can't prove they're putting stuff in the air, but I can prove that putting stuff in the water and the food, and I can prove that GMOs are going to be a problem, and not all of them, but some of them, and that there's a bunch of things going on in life that people don't understand the significance of, and I need people to rally behind me, be my friend. I want real brothers. I want real family. I am a person that does not talk to many people because, well, most people are dumbed down now. Nobody wants to talk about history and psychology and politics and the types of video games I like. Nobody wants to be real good friends. People just want a lot of people nowadays don't like that stuff, and they're not living healthy lifestyles. And even when they are, that's perfect for them. That's great. That's awesome. But it's nobody likes the subjects I like, and that's one of the reasons why they're after me. I'm an easy target. Not having a bunch of friends talking about politics. I mean, they're like, well, of course he'll latch on to us. He'll look at us like a family or something. That's probably what they're literally thinking. And if they're after me, I mean, I've tried to get it so that other people can watch me too, like by going up to a human and trying to ask them things. And no, not a lot of people know as much about the Illuminati as I know, and it's surprising but not surprising at the same time because everyone's working 40 hours a week, 20 hours a week, whatever, and they don't want to really do anything about it because they think, well, no, whatever. I mean, if the Illuminati is real, I'm not threatened. Yeah, now you're not threatened. It's like a frog boiling in a pot of water where if you put a frog in a boiling pot of water and have it on cold temperature and you boil it slow enough, it'll die because it won't jump out because it'll get so used to the water temperature before it gets hot and it'll die. That's literally what's happening to humanity. Humanity is being corrupted. This might be one of the best centuries in the history, but it's quickly going to fade. And I'm predicting that it's going to be because of mass mental illness, nihilism, unhealthy behaviors and lifestyles, lack of proper diets, lack of proper education, lack of proper motivation and inspiration and responsibility. And there will be severe increases in crime. There will be severe increases in drug addiction, mental illness. There'll be mass increases in just like poverty in general, inflation, wars, division. There might be civil wars in all sorts of different countries. There might be a nuclear bomb going off soon in a major United States city. And these, I mean, you never know what can happen. I mean, these are all my personal predictions. And I think that people should rally behind me. And at the very least, hey, if you think I'm mentally ill, then talk to me. Be nice and polite. There's a lot of people who have called me mentally ill without even watching my video, by the way. They even said, well, why would I watch your video? You're obviously crazy. Well, alright, well then, how are you gonna assume? How are you gonna make assumptions? How are you gonna accuse me? And even if I was mentally ill, why are you gonna be rude and mean? It's like you might as well be working for the devil then, or the lizard people, or whatever you want to call them, the aliens. I don't view them as aliens, because when I think of aliens, don't you usually think of like wisdom and intelligence and spaceships? Well, that's not what they make me think of. They make me think of like people who are pedophiles and monsters. So I'm not really going to call them aliens, but I have to because if I say demons, people won't want to listen to me, which is exactly what they want me to think. They want people to accept these aliens as a new god. They want people to view aliens coming back as, oh my god, it might be God. I mean, for all you know, there'll be alien spaceships flying everywhere one day, and it'll be like an alien invasion. I mean, and people will be like, "Whoa, what's going on?" It's like there's aliens here, and then people are like, "Whoa, nice, dude, it's so cool," and people are gonna be so scared they'll go into a state of trauma and denial where they'll want to accept the aliens as gods, and they won't know that it's literally the devil. It's literally lizard people. It's not, and the gray aliens are related to them. A bunch of the aliens that you think of as aliens are related to them, and I need to get this evidence out now, and I need people, even if they could just share it. I need someone to imagine if I could get someone that's smart enough to follow me and be a constant friend with me. And I mean, I'm happy. I live off of just about $500 a month, and and I eat really good. I pay my phone bill. I have a laptop, and I'm pretty much happy all day and thankful and grateful. And I practice what I preach, and I raise awareness. I spread awareness. I try and create communities for love and kindness and friendship and brotherhood, sisterhood, and humankind, humanhood. And I don't represent the right or the left, and I think I'm a perfect influence to have on humanity. And a lot of people are just getting so angry and bitter. They're getting rude and mean and uncivilized and impolite, and I don't want to see people go down that road, and that's exactly what these lizard people want. If the more power you give them, is the more you would get addicted to life. The more you get addicted to your job and your surroundings, your life, your environment, your what you think who you should be. I mean, ask yourself, who are you? What are you? Why are you? Why are you the way you are? How come? Are you only being the way you are because your friends, your family, TV? What would you be like without TV? What if you were raised by different people? Um, are you only saying what you say because you think someone will agree with you? Are you only saying what you say because you agree with it? Are you you, or are you someone you're trying to be on TV? Are you you, or are you just trying to be your group of friends that you have around you? These are very important. They want humanity to get lost in themselves and get some sort of dissociative fugue or amnesia. They want everyone to be mentally ill. They want everyone to be angry and resentful and hate life. They want everyone to have no faith in anything, whether it's God or life or happiness or their family, their friends, themselves. They want people with no self esteem. They don't want people working out and living healthily and having proper diets. They don't want people being strong. They don't want people representing love and kindness and human freedom. They are not on the left. They are not on the right. They are not anything but demons. And they technically are a different species, so they are aliens, but they're not friendlies and they're hostile, so they might as well be called demons. So ask yourself, do you want these people around your children? Do you want these people around you? I mean, what happens if they come for you next? What if they come for your kids? What if they come for your uncle, your aunt? What if they come for anyone you know? What if they're your boss? What if they're your anyone? What if you've ran into one of them before? Do you want to take the chance that there's, like, what if there's something humans can do? What if the only reason that they'll be able to invade is because they can make humans think that they're God, or that they're a God, or that they're just not hostile? What if the only way they can do this is as if they brainwash everyone and dumb everyone down? I don't mean brainwash like a cult. I mean they're getting you all addicted to life. Do you see where life is going? There might be less war and more. The 21st century has provided such a drastic increase in GDP, which is like money per whatever, and jobs and less crime and violence and war, and but that will quickly end with a snap, with the snap of a fingers. That will end soon, abruptly, and it will be a massive disaster no one ever saw coming because they didn't listen to the warnings in the past from famous quotes. They didn't listen to me. They didn't listen to other people that have similar speeches. And I think that people will look back at this page, my Facebook, everything about me, and say, man, I wish I listened. I wish I did something to stop them. I mean, imagine, do you want aliens walking around in real form? I mean, imagine if there's green reptilian aliens and gray aliens just walking around in the stores one day and you have no human rights. Have you ever seen District 9? It will be like a reverse District 9, where instead of no humans allowed and they're only allowed to be aliens here, it'll be the opposite. It'll be alien spaceships above everywhere. You never know. I mean, hey, these are just predictions, but um, if they're on the ground, where else are they? What are they waiting for? Why don't they just do their plan now? Because they know people will freak out and never be the same again. They want you to be lulled into submission so you accept them as a higher power, so you accept them as a government, so you accept them as something. They want you to see them as superiors, as authority. They want to get you used to having your freedoms and your rights taken away. They don't want you to be happy whatsoever. They want nothing but you and all your family, your ancestors, your future generations to be in nothing but pain. Imagine if that was parked over in New York City and they said, well, it's either you work for us or we torture you forever. And there's going to be humans that believe it. You never know what they're planning. Why don't they do anything now? How much power do they have? I mean, who are you? Are you going to be someone who says no? Are you going to be someone who does something about this? Are you going to be someone who warns people that there's literal aliens around? And you have to ask me for the evidence I have about all of what I'm saying, besides offline and online. Meaning, you have to ask me for more evidence that I can show you offline. I don't want to get this channel taken down because I feel like literally, it feels like just like that movie, we have one who can see. There's only one person who can see them for what they really are, and that's me. And people accuse and assume and say, oh, we're supposed to believe that you have all the answers. Well, how do you know I don't? I understand that you're projecting society onto me and think, well, I've seen other people talk like that, and there's no way that you're like that. But that's understandable, but still ignorant in some sense, because you don't know me, you've never talked to me, and you don't have to comment. If you really had that opinion about me, you could have asked me and said, all right, what evidence do you have? Or you could have just said nothing at all, which means that everyone's proving me right. Society is being toxified. They're getting more angry and violent. They're getting rude and impolite. They're getting um, put in the trash. People are turning into trashy human beings more and more. And it's the younger generations that are more and more at risk because they think it's just normal to be raised by TikTok and bad music and modern day, mainstream music and culture. And it poisons people because where did people in villages get their ideals from? Where do they get their ideas from? Where did they get the motivation to be what they are? Where did they get the anything to be what and who they are? it was from their culture. And their culture, people often wanted to be like their parents and work the same job as their parents. There was some form of nepotism. People often looked up to the priests in town and the hard workers and the guards and all these other things in villages and tribes. And now people are looking up to more unhealthy role models and the things that made humans into this society that has the least amount of crime and violence and war and the most amount of money and the least amount of starvation is being ripped from underneath everyone's fingertips, and it will slowly and then abruptly be replaced by a corrupt, greedy, materialistic, nihilistic culture where no one has proper role models, no one is raised properly, and there will be so many world events going on because of people that have lack of awareness and people that have the lack of motivation to do anything and the lack of productivity to even live their own lives and help others. I mean, society works because everybody puts something in. If everybody stops putting something in, that's one way of it going down. And another way of it going down is when everybody starts taking pieces out. Society works because some people add to it, some people don't take or give, and some people take. And the amount of people that aren't giving, that are taking, is decreasing and increasing. More people are taking from society without giving and committing worse things to society, meaning there's going to be a day when why do people, we'll think about it like this, why do people want to become firemen? Why do people want to invent stuff? Why do people want to be good? Why do people want to have good morals? Why do people want to not be violent or angry? Why do people want to be polite? Why do people want to be scientists and astronauts? Why do people want to um, just be a good human being in general? It's because the way you're raised, one, but also it's because of what you watch on TV. It's the stories you were told as a kid. It's where you were raised. It's your environment. It's your culture. It's the schooling that you went through. Like I said, it is the friend groups you have that you aspire for too. It's also genetics and it's also your parents. But in large part, people are becoming it's like people are raised by TV nowadays and video games, and people are raised by friend groups at school, and that's not okay. So the reason why that's not okay is because it might seem okay now, it's sustainable for the moment, but in the long run, it's not sustainable because it's getting worse. If it wasn't getting worse, it is semi-sustainable with the amount of corruption and toxicity that goes on with modern life, but eventually in the long run, it won't be sustainable if it keeps increasing. People not having proper role models and wanting to be motivated and responsible and productive and kind and nice and generous and caring and forgiving and love themselves and aspire to have good jobs. What happens if everyone stops wanting to be police officers and firemen and doctors and psychologists? I mean, if you're listening to this, it's understandable why you don't think about being those jobs. But what if no one did? Is that impossible? I wouldn't say it's impossible. But this is one of the things that these people are doing. They are literally trying to make it so no one likes the firemen and the psychologists and the police officers. No one wants anything above average. No one needs anything above average. And then, or making people think like that. And that is a very dangerous way to raise humans around. What happens if, just take for a moment, what if this is real? Let's just take for a moment. What if everyone wants to become TikTokers and YouTubers? Not just a couple people, that's okay. And when you're a kid, it's understandable, but it's not sustainable and it's not the best that human society can be. And this is exactly what they want. The architecture, the foundation that made humanity what it is today. Because someone said to me, you seem to not know history. This is the best it's ever been. In a sense, I would agree. But when it comes to sustainability and the prognosis for the future, and me being able to predict through time using statistics and the various subjects I study, no, it's not the best it's ever been. It is quickly about to fade. There will be there has been a great increase in progression into the most human freedom humans have ever known, and there will be an almost instantaneous drop in freedom, well-being, and every single thing that makes humans happy. There will be a drastic, all of a sudden, regret in life. And I hope people can understand the way I speak because I study a lot of subjects, and people said that my speech isn't all too good, which I'm improving on now, and I'm trying to work on the way I speak to everyone because I know that when I talk about psychology, people get lost, and I'm sorry, but I take college courses in the sense that I study college level material, and I understand clearly what I'm talking about, and I study history and all these subjects, and I hope that people can understand me without assuming I'm on drugs or mentally ill. That's literally insane. It's like walking into a college class and saying everyone in here must be on drugs. It's literally like I'm living through Idiocracy right now. Have you ever seen the movie Idiocracy, where they didn't know how to they didn't know to water their plants with Brando, so they couldn't eat and they couldn't sell anything, and their economy crashed because of Brando, and they started watering their plants with Brando. I mean, what happens if the doctors don't want to be doctors anymore? What happens if firemen don't want to be firemen anymore? What happens if the builders don't know how to build as good? What happens if people stop producing technology and stop coming up with good ideas? Who are the inventors in human society? The people, the humans that invent things, the humans that keep society running are the few that keep it running for the many. And if the few stop one, if the every generation or two, there's the few that get produced from being raised properly in just the right settings and having just the right ingredients to become the greatest doctors, psychologists, police officers, fire people, ambulance workers, and nurses, and inventors and mechanics. And then the rest get to live off of those people's hard work, which is normal and fine and not to feel too guilty about. But what happens if there's, like, for instance, this generation? What happens if no one wants to become good mechanics? What happens if no one wants to invent anything or be nice or kind or polite? What happens if no one wants to be good police officers and they all become racist and corrupt? What happens if no one wants to become good firefighters and they all slack on their jobs? You will you will have a society that is literally corrupt, and it won't stand. A house divided can't stand. And if people are corrupt and they don't want to do their jobs and they don't aspire to have better jobs or those few jobs that keep society running, because working at Burger King or at the gym and working as janitors don't sustain life. They keep it polished. Working at Burger King and McDonald's, working as janitors, working at the bank, working at whatever keeps life polished and clean. But what keeps life running, as if life was a car, what keeps life built and stable as if it was a house, is the doctors, the police officers, the inventors, the mechanics, the people who are and coming up with ideas to save humanity, coming up with, like I said, inventions, the scientists, the people who make things like TVs, and that's another thing. That's in between the polished people keep life polished and clean, and the people who keep life running and sustainable are the people who make the TVs, make the cars, who pumps your gas. I don't mean when you pump it. I mean like who gets that gas to you for your car? Who gets that gas for all the oil for all the planes? I mean, what keeps life like this? That is being snatched up from everyone's fingertips to the point where everybody will look back and be like, "Oh my God, it is a miracle that I even was able to drive my car, that I was even able to watch TV, that I was even able to watch this video right now so I could change my life and tell every single person in the entire world about this." I mean, I want people to realize how intelligent of a conversation this is, and I'm not bragging, because you are all trained to think that I'm bragging and trying to be superior and that you should feel angry and you should feel inferior, you should feel less smart than me. Because who's to say someone can't say something wise in front of you and maybe you know math better than me? Maybe you know history better than me, but I know the subjects I study better than everyone, and that is predicting the future in psychology and human behavior. It is culture and understanding people. That's what I know better than anyone. So I want people to ask themselves, where do you want to be in 10 years? Where do you want to be in 20 years? Where do you want to be in 5 years? Where do you want to be tomorrow? Why are you the way you are? What made you the way you are? What made you so good or so bad? What made you make the mistakes you made? What made you do the good things you did in life? Was it TV? Was it your friends groups? Your group of friends? Was it your parents? Was it your environment? Was it your genetics? I mean, these are all questions to ask yourself that I could answer probably for you for the most part. I mean, you have to ask yourself, what's more at stake here? Do you have to try and give up your life and sacrifice. This generation has to be a sacrifice. Every single person, if you care about future generations, your ancestors, your children, your family, you have to sacrifice your life all day, every day, or even part of it, and do something. Life is canceled. There are literal demon monsters here. Real, live demon monsters. What if there was a mass ghost invasion? I mean, I mean, people, because if I say it's like people watch a scary ghost video and it's like, oh, whatever. But what if there was ghosts literally haunting like people in basements and torturing them? And what if there was ghosts trying to take away your free rights? I mean, what if the equivalent of what I'm saying is the equivalent of alien tripods walking around? There might as well already be one of those things over Miami. For all you know, there is, and it's invisible. I mean, you never know. I mean, that thing is literally might as well metaphorically be parked over Miami, Washington, D.C., and for all you know, it is. Why not at this point? I mean, I doubt it is, but still. Um, so the thing to do is talk to me, contact me, email me, inbox me, do something to save the world with me. I mean, how guilty and stupid would you feel if I'm right? I mean, you probably think you're smarter than me. I don't know why someone can assume they're smarter than me based off of that one internet site, but okay. Let's go. Let's go with the fact that you're smarter than me. All right. Well, you're gonna feel pretty dumb. You're gonna feel like a literal person from Idiocracy if I end up being right and a nuclear bomb goes off, or there's alien spaceships flying everywhere, or that this video ends up being right and ends up being on CNN and Fox News and BBC. You're gonna feel pretty stupid. So please understand the severity of what I'm saying. If you've watched this much of my video that is over 37 minutes long, please contact me. How can you sit through all this and not want to contact me? That doesn't make sense to me. So please contact me ASAP. This is an emergency. This is an SOS. This is literally an urgent message to mankind, humankind.